Hi, my name is Marla Mock. Today we're going to be talking about pre-loss agreements, and we're going to be talking about what they are, what they do, how to pitch them, and how to overcome objections. So, the theory behind a pre-loss agreement is you need to diversify your services as much as you can. Obviously, we spend a lot of time talking with insurance agents and adjusters. Well, today we're going to talk about broadening our customer basis through a pre-loss agreement. What a pre-loss agreement will do for you is it will allow you to speak with the commercial property owners that really cannot afford to be out of service within their business. For example, in the event that they have a water loss or a fire or any other catastrophic event that happens to their business, the likelihood of it going over their deductible might be in question. The reason why is because commercial properties typically have larger deductibles. Some range from $50,000 onwards up to $250,000 and even higher. That being said, some of these losses will not fall under the deductible, so the first call that they make is not going to be to their insurance company. It'll be to a restoration company in which they have a relationship established. The commercial properties in which these agreements are important for are educational facilities, healthcare facilities, property management facilities, retail facilities, as well as manufacturing facilities. Any business that cannot afford to be out of commission because they're going to lose revenue. For example, when a school has a fire and or a flood and they can't utilize those classroom facilities, they're losing revenue. They really can't afford to have that business interruption. So it's imperative that they have a relationship with a restoration company that is going to be able to respond quickly, mitigate the loss, and minimize the damage so that they can become operational as quickly as possible. Oftentimes when a loss occurs, these facilities have no relationships established, so they don't know who to call. It's their responsibility to mitigate the loss as quickly as possible. It's imperative that they have a contract and a relationship with a restoration company that can respond to them in a timely manner, come in, assess the situation, and guide and direct them. Is this loss big enough where they do need to reach out to their insurance company and file a claim? Or is it a loss that's going to be smaller than what their deductible is, in which the restoration company, Rainbow, can come in, assess the situation, and help mitigate the loss so that it minimizes the amount of time that their facility is out of commission? The most successful restoration companies are those that have strong relationships. A strong relationship basis with their customer. Who do we do business with? You do business with people that you trust, people that you know have your best interest at heart. That's why these pre-loss agreements are so important. The restoration business is ultimately a relationship-based business. Who do the insurance companies want to work with? Companies that they trust. Same goes for commercial property owners. In the event that they experience a loss, such as a fire or a flood, oftentimes they've never experienced that before, and it evokes a lot of anxiety. As you meet with them to pitch this agreement, it's important that you establish the relationship. And what does that look like? Tell them a little bit about yourself, tell them a little bit of history about the franchise, about the business, and the level of experience that you have. And then take the time to find out the role that they play in that business. The reason why that's important is you've got to know, are you talking to the decision maker? Remember, we're focusing on signing an agreement so that we can provide services long term. Ask, in the event that your facility does experience a loss, what's the first thing you would do? Who's the first person you would call? If the answer is the insurance company, that's great. However, some of the losses will not exceed their deductible limit, so the insurance company may or may not even need to be contacted. Explain to them that if you're the first call that they make, you can come out, provide an assessment of the loss, let them know from an estimate standpoint what the monetary amount could be so that they can make the decision at that point in time, do I want to notify my insurance company or do I not? The customer might say, look, we've never had something like this happen before, and we don't think that it will happen. Or we've got a maintenance individual and staff. We have a relationship with a cleaning company, and they'll take care of it with us. What we do know is they're trying to throw up objections. They don't want to think that something like this could happen to their building or their structure, when ultimately we all know that it can, and it often does. Take the time to share with them the certifications that you hold and the importance of mitigating a loss properly and or the damage that might occur if it does not. Let's talk about why these agreements are so important. When a regional weather event happens, these commercial properties are in need of services. Guess what? So is everyone else. In the event that happens, and they have a signed pre-loss agreement with your company, that moves them from 30th on the waiting list up to the top. The customers that you want to provide services with are the customers that have committed to you that you're going to be the restoration company that they choose to use. When a loss occurs, the customer doesn't need to think about, oh my gosh, who do I need to call? What do I need to do? This is already an established agreement. They know the company they're going to use. They already have a relationship and an agreement settled with your company, and it's basically one-stop shop, one phone call. Then they know that you're going to come in, assess the situation, and help walk them through the mitigation process. One objection that you might get is, I don't want to sign a contract. Take the time to explain to them that it's not a contract. This is a gentleman's agreement. Again, going back to a regional weather event, there's going to be a lot of individuals that are going to need your services. If there's an established agreement between you and this customer, then that minimizes the amount of time that they're going to remain on the waiting list. Also, being a part of Rainbow International Restoration, you're going to have sister franchisees that can come in and help with the volume of work. So it's imperative that you know how many pre-loss agreements you have established with your customers. So, hey, if this is a large enough weather event, I might have to call in some sister franchises to help with the volume of work. If another objection that you hear is, we handle all of this in-house, take the time to share with them the importance of records of drying conditions. When a loss is mitigated properly, you have to make sure that you're meeting dry standards. Might they have air movers? Might they have some fans? Sure. But do they have certified staff to make sure that that minimizes their risk and the mitigation is done properly? The last thing they want to do is experience a situation where the loss has not been handled appropriately by a certified restoration company, and then one of their customers, staffs, students, or patients end up getting sick due to secondary damage. What if they say to you, shouldn't I call my insurance company first? What I would say to them is, this may or may not be a loss, so therefore you might not need to notify your insurance company. Allow us to send a crew out, assess the situation, and inform you the amount that this loss is going to be, because it may or may not go above your deductible. Therefore, you may or may not need to file a claim. So let's wrap it up. You're looking for more business. I used these pre-loss agreements in the past, and they were phenomenal. It was a great way to add dimension to the business. At one point in time, we had 3 losses going on, and all of them averaged about $50,000 a piece, because it was the established relationships that we had in place with the customer, and we were the first call every time that a situation happened within their structures. In conclusion, it's imperative that a commercial customer has an established relationship with a restoration company that is going to be available to assess their needs and mitigate any loss 24/7, 365.